This blue and yellow Nami leader has a lot of potential with it having some great colors, but is there a clear archetype you should build towards? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Mobby here, and today I'm going to be giving you my personal deck profile for this blue and yellow Nami leader that came out in OP11. Make sure to like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. I upload daily duels and deck profiles for different anime TCGs. Alright guys, here we go. This is going to be a video breakdown showing you every single card I have in here and the game plan. If you just want the deck list, however, I recommend pausing the video, heading on over to my website where I upload all of these as well as the proxies, because as the recording of this video, these are English translated that I do myself that you can get on my website. So let's get started with the game plan. So the way that I built this leader, and feel free to leave any feedback on what you would add or what you would remove, but this Nami is going to play very similar to the other Luffy that came out in this set, where it's all about playing towards the Sanji late game. You have a lot of good cards that set up in order to use the Sanji, and with your leader's ability, it's okay to have a little bit more bricks than normal because you're able to toss them out for extra counters. So let's talk about it with the leader. Going first, this is Nami, Straw Hat Crew, OP11, 5000 power, 4 life, blue yellow, really great color. Another blue and yellow leader is like Queen or something, right? But anyway, during your turn, once per turn, when a life leaves any life pile, you can activate this effect to draw one card if you have 7 or fewer cards in hand. So this is only your turn, and when it says life leaves any pile, your opponents for attacking into it, using an effect that removes it, or even your own life. For example, using a Kozuki Hyori to remove a life in order to bring something back over. Same thing with Sanji. So this is really good. I think if you had like this would be crazy if it was only 6 cards, but the fact that 7 cards or fewer, you draw up to 8. This is so powerful. Then, with 1 Dawn attached, when your opponent attacks once per turn, you can trash 1 card to give the leader 2000. So there you go, what I'm talking about when I say you can go ahead and have a little bit more bricks than usual, so you can make it a 2000. However, you have to have a Dawn attached, but there are cards in this deck that will allow you to add some cards to Nami. Let's begin with the lowest to high cost, starting with You're the One Who Should Disappear from OP06. We're running 2 of them in here. This is a 0 cost counter. Trash 1 card from your hand. Up to 1 of your leader or character gains 3000 power. So because you really do have a lot of bricks, you might not be able to use this multiple times per turn. Well, you can't use it multiple times per turn, just 1 time. So this will help alleviate, maybe you use this plus this to remove 2 bricks from your hand in order to get a very high counter. It's also a really good trigger. If you have 0 life cards, when this activates, you can add 1 card and heal, and then you trash 1 from your hand. There is a Kozuki Hyori in this deck, so if you are at 1 life, you can go ahead and remove it using Kozuki Hyori, putting this back on top, so you can go ahead and heal when they attack you, and then you can draw off your leader ability. So it's a great card to add to the deck. Let's go. Now, for another great support card, the new card that came out in OP11, this is Carrots, 1/1/1 on play. Look at the top 3, rearrange them on the top or bottom. You could definitely play this early game in order to just rearrange what you want to draw next if you don't have an upcoming play. And then later on, you can use it for this ability. You can trash this character to give your leader 1000 power for the battle, so even more counter power. This is also great late game or the turn right before you play your Sanji. You can go ahead and rearrange the top, and then, once again, Sanji's coming out. So this is a great card, an amazing card. Now, this is a card that hasn't seen play in a long time. This is Nojiko from OP03, 201. On play if your leader is Nami. So at the point of this review, 2 leaders are Namis, which is the blue and the yellow. You don't really want to play it in that blue deck, but it works really well in this one. You can go ahead and bounce back one of your opponent's 5 or less to their hand. So this is good. There's a lot of finishing cards in decks. For example, Usohachi, which is it's a 3 cost, the rest is a 5 or lower. This is kind of fills the role of that, except it's a 1 counter, but it also bounces it back. So you can use it as a finisher, or if your opponent is really annoying, they have a lot of stuff on the board, you can go ahead and throw this out too. There's also ways to bounce back your cards in this deck in the form of these 6-cost Jozu. So a lot of the early game cards like this Carrot, this Nojiko, and even the Kozuki Hyori that we're going to be talking about will have more versatility in the forms of extra plays and going back to your hand. So this is a great card to put in. We have 2 of these just to try them out. Now for another 2 cost, this is Zeus from OP11 222. This is the alternate art. Remember, you can download them all on my website. On play, you can add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand in order to KO a 5-drop. It's pretty freaking good. So yeah, you have this to bounce it back. This is a 2K that you can go ahead and, you know, just KO something. So it's a great card. It's a new one in the set. And on the bottom, this is a homie / big mom. So even though Nami isn't here, obviously it's just Zeus. So yeah. Now, one of the big stars of the deck, Kozuki Hyori, OP06, 202 on play, add 1 card for the top or bottom to your life, then you can add 1 back on top. So if you use this super early, you can set up a nice trigger on top, or you can use a late game to set up a trigger once again. Or if you really don't have a 2-play, you can just play it, set something up that you want later, and then you'll be able to activate your leader ability because you removed something from a life pile. So it's a great card to bounce back from. It's just a good card overall. Now we have Capone Gang Beiges. These are from OP04 332 with the trigger of up to 1 of your opponent's leaders or characters cannot attack. So many games have been won using just Capone Gang Beige. Not even setting them up. You can set them up with Kozuki Hyori, but you can also just hopefully you trigger from your deck from the last trigger, and then your opponent just can't attack, and then they lose the game. So this is really good. Okay, now we have some Charlotte Puddings. These are used in a lot of blue decks with extra wiggle room from OP06 441. On play, your opponent returns all of their cards from their hand to their deck and then shuffles it, then they draw 5. This is really good if you know your opponent has been pretty much catering and setting up their hand the whole game, or if they have more than 5, for example 8 or something. You use this, you essentially knock out 3 from their hand and then they draw randomly. It can always backfire, but usually it's gonna work out in your favor. 2 of these. Now we have these Kikunojos. I'm a sucker for these ones. I really like these Kikunojos from OP06 460 on KO. If your opponent has 3 or less life, where at the point you play this, usually they will add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. Doing that makes it so your opponent will think twice about removing it, unless they have a trashing effect, unless they have the bounce back or a bottom remove. But if you attack with this in the following turn, it's a 6,000 on the board. Your opponent's like, do I really want to kill it? Because you're just going to heal. And if anything leaves your life pile, you're going to keep drawing. So you're going to get a lot of benefits off this. The trigger here is if your opponent has 3 or less, you can play this. Another great card to set up with Kozuki Hyori. So anything that adds stuff to life or moves it on your turn, or it's just really good. Now for Charlotte Katakuri, this is a card that came out in Starter Deck 20. It fits really well in this deck. 5/6/1 has innate blocker, which is a 5/6/1 5/6 blocker is pretty good. Then you can activate main once per turn, turn up 1 of your life cards face up, then give a rested dawn to your leader or one of your characters. So you can use this, and really Nami doesn't care if her life is face up, except for using this multiple times, like on the next turn or something like that. But basically giving her a dawn makes it so she can attack harder, but also lets her use her ability without you having to use any extra resources to put on her before you can play stuff. So you play 5, attack for 6. If you have a lot of bricks in your hand, you want to protect something, boom, you can go ahead and use the ability to trash something for the 2K. So it fits really well in this deck. Speaking of another card that fits well in the deck, we got Nami from OP11 5/6/1, has innate blocker. On play, if your leader is multicolored, which it is, draw 3, then place 2 cards from your hand to the top or bottom of your deck in any order. You can put it on the bottom. Primarily, you're going to be using this to put the top 3 cards on top. Whatever is on the first one doesn't matter. The second one will be set up for the Sanji of the following turn. So this card and the Carrot card is perfect for setting up your Sanjis. And basically, yeah, that's what it's there for. Now we have Jozu, a really great removal card from is it OP08? OP08, Jozu, Whitebeard Pirate, 6/7/1. On play, you can bounce back 1 of your characters to bounce back a 6 cost. It's really good. A lot of great cards to send back to your hand. You're pretty much using this for late game. You're not going to worry about bouncing that back. You're never gonna play this. This is a huge target for bouncing back after you set up your hand. This one's okay to bounce back. This one's really good to bounce back. And these carrots are good for bouncing back because you want to set up your Sanji. So you can use this early game in order to set up your future turns if you need to. And then Jozu, and then do this, and then boom, you're ready to go with Sanji. So great removal, great stuff. Speaking of removal, we have Red Rock. This is a blue deck, so why not add some of the really great event removal cards? This is Red Rock from OP04. Cost 6. Activate, return a character to the bottom of the deck. So you bottom deck something. So it's either this or Gravity Blade. I would run one or the other, maybe not 2 and 2, because you gotta make room for more tinier stuff like these. You're the one who should disappear. But it really is up to you of whether or not you want to run more, removal and stuff. A lot of these cards are running in 3s. Feel free to remove anything, add anything, and make 4 costs of stuff. Now moving over to our late game. So every card here you're gonna want to play straight out or use it with Sanji. So there's a lot of cards here, but just remember, bricks equal at least potential for your leader ability. To be a 2K, Lin from ST077070. Oh, sorry. I did this one today. This is supposed to be 770. So, sorry, this is 8. So 7-8. I'm gonna be redoing this card, because this one's only in Japanese right now. I don't think it's in English, so that's why I photoshopped this one myself. So your opponent chooses one, they trash one from the top of their life, or at the moment of time, if you're able to get the first effect off, you're probably gonna draw a card because it's your turn. Or they go ahead and add, or they can let you heal, which once again you can use it for more effects in order to just stay alive longer, or wait and use it for more stuff. So great card, running 3 of these in here. Now we have some kids. Now these are cards from OP10, and it works well in this deck. So OP10, 890, on play you can rest this character to trash a card from the opponent's life card, which means you can activate it and proc your leader ability. Then at the end of your turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life, draw one and trash one. So yeah, you have a lot of brick protection, but you still might get insanely bricked. So this will help you sift some stuff out. So playing this straight out isn't the best. This is a really great card to play with Sanji though. We're running 2 of these just to try them out. Another great card to add to the deck is going to be this Katakuri from OP03. 880 on play, put up to 1 character, 8 or less on the top of its owner's life area face up. Great card to put on the board. Great removal, temporary removal that is. You can also set it up on your life or the opponent's life in order to activate triggers if you need to, or something like that. But anyway, it's more stuff to put on life piles in order to give you more opportunities to activate your leader ability. So I'm running 2 of these. A new card we're going to be running is going to be Monkey D. Luffy from OP11 880. It has innate rush. You can trash 1 card, which once again, a lot of bricks. Then return up to 1 4 or less back to their hand. Then give up to 1 rested Dawn to your leader or character. Once again, your leader needs a Dawn on it to activate the ability. So this Luffy and this Katakuri is for giving your leader the extra Dawn on curve. This Nami and this Carrot is all about using and setting up for the Sanji. So if you don't remember what the Sanji does, it's from OP06, 990 on play, reveal the top card of your deck and play it if it's a 9 or less other than Sanji. So a lot of cards in your deck are really good to play with this. You got these Luffys for rushing, you got these Katakuris, you got these kids, you got these moms, you have the Jozus if you need to, and then you can play these if you really didn't get anything good. But a lot of great, amazing cards versatility. Now, once again, I'm running a lot of cards in 2s and 3s. If you have a favorite card, make sure you just, remove some stuff. You run 4 of them to be as consistent as possible. I'm going to be running a lot of these, doing some tweaking later, and we end up removing, like, for example, like, maybe I don't want these kids. Maybe I want 1 more Katakuri. Maybe I want 1 more Luffy, etc. So this is just a lot of the basic cards that I want to use in the deck, and we'll see if it works. So let me know what you guys think, and once again, link in the description if you just want all the deck profiles for everything we do on the channel. I'm going to upload some duels in the future. Make sure to watch out for that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.